but I can't vouch for that for certain. And had no idea. At the same time, I was going to run all 7 continents, and no idea what was involved. Didn't even know how to get to the Antarctic, except I figured it was by boat, and I figured that I would run around a town and just measure out a block and see how much it was, and run around it 50 times, and I'd be 26 miles. I didn't know there's no towns in the Antarctic, and or even how to get there. And it turned out that this was in 1996 1995 was the first Antarctic sporting event, and it was a marathon, and I was able to get on the boat, and now they run one every other year in the Antarctic. So I was going to be the first one to do all 7 continents of the world, and that was my gimmick to raise money for kids with cancer.
Ken Volk joining us, the author of a book called Don't Look Back Because There's Nobody There. Was that the toughest one, the Antarctic?
It was the toughest as far as time is concerned. I got lost on a glacier and was afraid, really, literally afraid for my life. I thought I was going to die on the glacier because we had a whiteout as I went up the glacier on the second go-around of the 13-mile route. I had a whiteout. I couldn't see the boat that we came in. I couldn't see anything. There were bamboo sticks sticking up out of the snow, and I thought that's the marking. So I went along from pole to pole, and I was heading up the glacier to the right, and the marathon was low to the left. And finally they realized, I think my wife saw me from the bottom, knew I was in the wrong direction, and they came out with an ATV after about an hour and got me on the right track. And they asked me, I finished, and the book's title is "Don't Look Back Because There's Nobody There." So you have to get the book to find out where the title came from. But it was over a 7.5-hour marathon because I was out there for well over an hour. Nobody broke 3 hours in this race. It turned out to be over 27 miles because they couldn't measure it accurately.
Which one did you enjoy the most?
People ask me that all the time. I really don't have. I mean, Boston was special.
Not that a marathon's enjoyable.
No,
I think at some point you hit a wall.
The running of it is enjoyable. It's the training that is not enjoyable. Boston was very special. I know which one I disliked the most, and that was Brazil. The Brazilians don't like to get up in the morning. They ran it at 3:30 in the afternoon. It was 88 degrees and had to be 100 on the tarmac, and people were walking after a mile. You couldn't. I couldn't breathe in this climate. But Paris, they were throwing candy at us and yelling bravo, and there were bands playing, and it was very, very special. But it gave us a chance to travel all around the world, actually, and also to do something good for the community, which I'm very proud of, as a matter of fact.
How much money have you raised to this point?
With this. I promised the people I wouldn't ask them anymore after I completed my 7-continent quest. But with this book, the books that I've given to people, I've put a little piece of paper in saying, if you like the book and you get a kick out of the book, if you want to send a donation to Maine Children's Cancer Program, that would be great. And raised, it's over $5,000 now, right, just with a little piece of paper. The book's being sold at Longfellow and in Portland, and also Nonsuch in Portland and Biddeford. And I'm speaking at the library. I'm doing a book signing at the library in Cumberland on Saturday morning, so at 10 o'clock.
Now, how long, I mean, obviously you ran these marathons over years, but at what point did you say, I need to sit down and I need to write about this?
Well, after I finished the 8th continent, Boston, I sat down with my wife surging and did an outline of all these. It sat in my computer for all these years, since 1996, and every year at the summertime I would say, I'm going to write this book, and I never did. And in the wintertime I'd come, I'm going to write this book, and I never did. Last year at this time I had melanoma. So it's sort of fitting that all of a sudden I was raising money for kids with cancer, and then I get it. I never expected that. And then I had a reoccurrence of it as well. But both of them have been taken care of, and I've been very lucky to catch it early. But after the first melanoma, I sat down and I said, time is getting short, and I wanted to leave something for my grandchildren. The book came out a lot better than I thought it would ever come out, and I sat down and really worked hard last summer, and got it published by the end of the year. So it was a fun experience.
All right, Ken. Well, thanks for a couple of minutes. A very interesting book. Again, it's Don't Look Back because there's nobody there. 7 continents, 7 marathons, 1 runner. And appreciate a couple minutes of your time.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, your phone calls on the other side when we come back. Shu and Joe on the Big Jam.